Hey, what's up YouTube? My name's Nesto. So I want to make this video just to tell you guys about a job that I probably shouldn't have accepted. I probably should, and I kind of regret accepting it. It was a drywall repair job for a bathroom ceiling. So the customer hit me up. There had been some water damage to their bathroom ceiling, so they had somebody come and patch it up. And they wanted me to come fix that guy's patchwork because it was like, it looked horrible, glaringly obvious that there was a patch job there, and they wanted me to fix it. So I was like, yeah, it's fine. You know, I was kind of thinking maybe I probably just sand it down, and because it looked like he used like too much paste, too much, like it was, you know, it looked like it was too much. But I was like, I'll see if I could sand it down. If I could sand it down, then I'll just add another coat, skim coat on top, and you know, make it look nice. Or I'll just cut it out. If I can, I'll just cut it out and put a new piece in. So that was my thinking. I got there, turned out the whole, like half the ceiling was actually bowed, like off the studs, because from the water damage, obviously. So that's why that guy's patch job was so crappy, is because he's trying to fix a round surface with a square piece, you know. So that's where I should have been like, you know what, your whole half your ceiling is bowed. So this job's a little bit too big for me. You just have to hire a drywall contractor, you know. So that's where I should have thrown in the towel and been like, no, you know, I can't do this. But I don't know why. I just wasn't thinking. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure, I'll do this for you, you know. But what it's gonna take is, it's gonna take for me to cut out the area that's bowed and replace it with new drywall. You know, obviously it wasn't a gigantic ceiling. It was a, you know, half a bathroom ceiling, like standard size kind of bathroom. So so that first day I only worked an hour. You know, it was not even an hour. It was just me checking it out, trying to see, and then trying to take some measurements. And I was gonna come back another day with drywall and, you know, cut it out, install the new drywall, put the first layer of, you know, put tape, put the first layer of mud. So that's what I did, you know. But the reason why I regret it is, man, it was tough, man. Like, just, it's above your head. There was so much sanding. You know, I bought like this, the sander that hooks onto like the stick, so that you don't have to actually get up there, you know. But it's just, I'm not a drywall guy, you know. I'm not a drywall contractor. And I was like dreading going back, you know. I was like, oh my god, that first day was a nightmare, because I thought I was only gonna have to take off like I had to take off more wall than I realized, you know, to get everything to line up flat. So it was so tough, like, you know. So that second day, I think I took like 2.5 hours, maybe 3, to cut out all the old drywall, screw some new one in, and put tape and mud. And then I had to come back to do the second coat. I had to come back to sand it and put the second coat, and that wasn't enough. So I had to actually, I had to come back another day to sand that last coat and paint it, you know. So it ended up being like a 4-day with that first hour included, but a 3-day project. And I mean, it was like 3-4 hours at a time. So I ended up, you know, I got paid decently for it, you know. I think I was getting paid $51 an hour, but it wasn't worth it, man. For $51 an hour, you would think it'd be worth it, but for me it wasn't, you know. Maybe some guys out there, they're better with drywall or stuff like that, but this one, at the moment I saw that half the ceiling was bowed, I should have just been like, nah, I mean, you know, this is too big for me. So I ended up just struggling there, just, you know. It ended up looking nice. It ended up looking, you know, there was like maybe like one little dimples that you couldn't even see from the floor, you know. You have to be up there, just because sometimes there's air bubbles, and then when you sand it down, like the air bubbles exposed, you know, like the air pocket. But she was happy with it. She left me a great review. She tipped me all along the way. You know, awesome clients, you know. Just for me personally, getting super dusty at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then going out to my next job just full of drywall dust and all that stuff, like it just wasn't worth it. So now, lesson learned, I'm gonna be more selective. I do drywall patching, but not full on changing out, putting a whole new wall up and stuff like that, especially if it's in the ceiling. And I put my lesson to work too, because somebody hit me up for they needed grouting in their bathroom, and they needed sealing or something. They needed me to seal something, and they started asking me, they started showing me some cracks they had in the drywall. And this time, instead of like taking the bait, I told them like, no, that's gonna require extensive like drywall repair, so that's a little bit out of my scope. He had like a crack running down, and then he also had like a round area, and you can see a little bit of mold popping through, and that's I kind of used that. I was like, see, that's mold right there. So behind that is probably even more mold. It's like, it's a little bit too much for me. And yeah, so now lesson is I'm not gonna go hardcore with the drywall. It has to be a minor patch, and it's gonna have to be vertical walls, man, because ceilings, it adds another level of a pain, and yeah, because I did do another bathroom. I've done a couple bathrooms. For some reason, bathrooms always, the bathroom above you floods or whatever, and then you get bathroom damage. And I did do another one, and that one I did do, and it went smoother than this one because it was just a little spot. It wasn't the whole half the ceiling that needed re-drywalling. And but even that one, dude, like, I don't know if it was the mold or what, but I was feeling sick after I did that job. I mean, I cut the mold. I was wearing a mask, I cut the mold piece and I put it straight into a bag, like. But still, like, that night, I was like, I had like a headache and stuff like that. I was like, I was wondering, I was like, was it the mold, or was it because it was so freaking hot in there, and I was just like dripping sweat, and maybe I was just probably dehydrated or something, But either way, man, lesson learned is that I'm not gonna do too much hardcore drywalling because it's too rough. When I could be making the same amount of money hanging up, picture frames for, when I could make the same amount of money hanging picture frames and portraits for somebody, why would I do that to myself, where I'm covered in dust? I have to wear like a hat like this. I have to wear this hat like this, and then like glasses, and then the mask, and it's like super hot, and you're like drenched in sweat, and then you get and on top of that you get just dust all over you, man. It's super uncomfortable. So, but if you guys are money hungry, or you guys need the money, and just, go for it, But nah, man, I'm good. I'm looking to work the cleanest I can, and raise my rates. But when you raise your rates, like, I think people expect something from your image, so I want to show up at my rate. I don't want to show up covered in drywall dust to my next job. I want to show up clean, like this shirt's like nice and clean. That's how I want to show up. I don't want to show up covered in dust and all kinds of stuff, man. Fiberglass insulation, that's so itchy. It's the worst. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been looking at myself this whole time. I haven't been looking at the camera. That's my bad. Yeah, I've been shooting with my. I don't have a camera. People say like, oh, you don't need a camera to start your YouTube channel. So I haven't bought a camera. I want to buy a camera, but in the meantime, I've been using my old LG phone. When I bought an iPhone, after having an LG phone, I bought an iPhone. So I used the LG phone just as a camera to shoot these, just so I don't have to buy an SD card. But I'll probably buy a camera if I keep doing this. The problem is I'm not consistent, and I gotta kind of like, if I'm gonna invest in it, then I need to be more consistent in it.